Hello and welcome to another super amazing video on RV vehicles. Today we will be talking about the service and maintenance of RV refrigerators. Good RV refrigerators aren't cheap. They start around $1,100 and go all the way up to $3,000 plus for luxury models. You will be saving much of your money if you learned how to keep your RV refrigerator maintained. Not only that, we will also be discuss some tips and tricks to boost your RV fridge to make it more performance efficient. So without wasting any time, let's begin. Moving towards maintenance, first and basic need that comes up is performing routine inspections inside and outside the refrigerator. Performing visual inspections of all the working fridge components is a very important part of RV ownership. As stated above, there are parts accessed from inside and outside the RV. Both need to be inspected regularly. Inside the fridge and freezer, you can inspect the evaporator fins, ice maker, gaskets, and light. It's also a good idea to place a thermometer towards the back of your fridge to manually monitor the temperature. Freezers can occasionally create an ice buildup as well, so be sure to defrost the freezer if this occurs. On the outside of the fridge, be sure the hinges and latches are still secure and check the display to ensure it's functioning. If this seems like overkill, be sure to remember that your refrigerator is bouncing down the road in your RV and things can come loose. After you've done the basic inspection, the next important step that comes up is to consult the owner's manual. An owner's manual, also called an instruction manual or a user guide, is an instructional book or booklet that is supplied with almost all technologically advanced consumer products such as vehicles, home appliances, and computer peripherals. It is crucial to read your owner manual when you begin RVing. It can cause you with huge loss to your RV fridge. If you do not have appropriate knowledge regarding it, purchase a new fridge or are feeling a little rusty. One major difference between your fridge at home and the fridge in your RV is that it runs on propane. For beginners, this can prove to be a little confusing at first. If you haven't already, after you familiarize yourself with the basics of propane, you can begin getting comfortable with your fridge. There are important refrigerator components inside and outside of your RV, so take your time to ensure you know where and what everything is. Learn the proper way to fill your RV fridge. Overpacking your fridge can actually cost you money if your fridge can't keep the food cold enough. It's crucial to allow air to circulate between the food. Try removing excess packaging or transferring food to stackable containers to conserve space. If the fridge is too full, it will not be able to stay cool enough. Many people struggle in packing their RV fridges, and sometimes they end up overpacking. Overpacking might save you by carrying extra food, but in the long run, it is unwise. This is not only awkward but also potentially dangerous. Air circulation takes place when there's enough space and room between products. The RV refrigerator has cooling fans that facilitate airflow throughout the refrigerator. So, you need to avoid overpacking your food to have enough circulation. That cool air is the thing that lowers the temperature of food products. And that lower temperature is what keeps bacteria from multiplying. In other words, poor air circulation facilitates food spoilage. If you overpack your RV fridge, air circulation is hindered and food spoils. That's actually a good tip for residential fridges as well. It seems that people are more prone to overpacking while on the road, so we mention it here as well. Defrost the fridge anytime you see ice building. As we discussed above, your freezer can occasionally have a buildup of ice on it. If this happens, you must defrost it immediately. If your fridge's evaporator fins have a buildup of ice, defrost them and turn down the temperature. While you want the food in your fridge to stay cold enough, you don't want it to be frozen. A defrosting procedure is generally performed periodically on refrigerators and freezers to maintain their operating efficiency. Over time, as the door is opened and closed, letting in new air, water vapor from the air condenses on the cooling elements within the cabinet. Types of frost in various environments include crystalline frost, hoarfrost or radiation frost from deposition of water vapor from air of low humidity, white frost in humid conditions, window frost on glass surfaces, advection frost from cold wind over cold surfaces, black frost without visible ice at low temperatures and very low humidity, and rime under supercooled wet conditions. 1. The resulting ice inhibits heat transfer out of the cabinet, increasing running costs. Furthermore, as the ice builds up, it takes increasing space from within the cabinet, reducing the space available for food storage. Many newer units employ automatic defrosting, often called frost-free or no-frost, and do not require manual defrosting in normal use. Although, in some cases, users of frost-free fridge freezers have noted ice blocking the vent that allows air into the refrigerator compartment. 5. Try to park with your fridge in the shade. This is a small but important step for your RV fridge. And mostly known by all of us, if you want to keep something cool, avoid the sun and keep it into shade. This could not be explained much as it's very common. If possible, position your RV so that your fridge's outdoor components are shaded. This can reduce the amount of work and strain on your refrigerator. Your food will also stay cooler, and your fridge will last longer. Till now we discussed the main points regarding maintenance. Now here are some general tips to remember to get enhanced fridge maintenance. General tip: whenever possible, pre-cool the refrigerator for 8 to 10 hours before loading it with food, so you're not trying to cool the food and the warm refrigerator at the same time. Cool and freeze food at home before loading it into the refrigerator freezer, so it doesn't have to overcome room temperature. Pack food loosely. Most RV refrigerators don't have fans to circulate the cold air, although portable aftermarket fans can help. If you don't have enough room, consider taking along an ice chest, which can be used for items such as cold drinks. This also reduces the number of times the refrigerator has to be opened to grab a drink. Cover all liquids and food to help prevent condensation or frost buildup on the interior fins. Allow hot or warm liquids to cool prior to placing them in the refrigerator or freezer compartment. Limit the number of times you open the doors whenever possible. Cold air escapes every time a door is opened. Plan on removing or restocking food as much as possible at one time. Also avoid covering the shelves with foil or large pans, as this will diminish the circulation of cold air. If you notice the smell of ammonia, turn off the refrigerator immediately. Open its doors and all the windows and roof vents in the motorhome. Ammonia is very caustic and can ruin the metal shelves in the lower compartment. Eventually, the ammonia will diminish. If this happens while on a trip, once the smell is gone, empty the refrigerator and close the doors until you get home and make a service appointment. At this point, the refrigerator will cease to function and the cooling unit will need to be replaced. So these were all about the maintenance part. Moving further, we will be discussing some tips and tricks that will increasing the performance of your fridge. Ways to make your RV refrigerator work better. As full-time RVer, we've learned to manage fitting our family's food into an RV refrigerator rivals that of a college freshman's dorm fridge. What we will not accept is an RV refrigerator that doesn't keep our food fresh, beer cold, and popsicles frozen. Here are 5 things you can do to make your RV refrigerator work the best it can. Install a muffin fan inside your refrigerator. This is by far our #1 recommendation to maximize the efficiency of your RV refrigerator. There's a blower fan in residential refrigerators that helps circulate the cold air throughout the fridge and freezer, and this air circulation is critical in keeping all of your food at an equal and consistent cold temperature. For whatever reason, this component is lacking in RV refrigerators. This muffin fan is small and inexpensive, but makes a big difference with the airflow in your refrigerator. But don't worry, there's a relatively easy and cheap fix to this. A 12-volt DC muffin fan is inexpensive and can be installed inside your fridge and provide the airflow that it's lacking. Choose whichever size works best for your RV refrigerator, and as long as it's 12-volt DC, it can be hooked up using the same wires that power your refrigerator light. It's not as straightforward as just plugging it in, but it can be done with minimal knowledge of electric wiring and some basic connectors. Be sure to install the muffin fan so that it blows over the fins. Be sure to mount it either on or near your evaporator coil so that it blows air over or around the fins. Replace the door gasket seal. All refrigerators have a strip of magnetic vinyl that runs around the perimeter of the door. This provides a secure and tight seal when you close your refrigerator door. If this is damaged or worn from wear and tear, the seal is broken and cold air can get out and warm air in. To replace an old door gasket seal, you can purchase a brand new door seal from whoever manufactured your RV refrigerator. Once you have the new seal in hand, remove the old door seal by simply using a putty knife or a pair of pliers to loosen and grab it and pull. Then take your new door seal and install it by pushing it into the groove that held your old door seal. Once in place, Close the door and do a visual inspection to ensure that there are no visible gaps between the seal, the door, and the refrigerator. Open and close the door a couple times, and you should be able to feel the tightness of the seal. If you're looking for a less expensive fix or need a temporary fix until you receive the manufacturer's door seal, here's what you can do. Purchase some weather stripping rubber intended for doors and windows, and measure and cut it to size for your RV's fridge. Make sure that the corners are as tight as possible. Do not remove your old door gasket seal. Instead, prep it by cleaning it with some rubbing alcohol. Once it's clean, take your cut pieces of rubber, peel off the back paper, and stick it directly on the old door seal. Close your door and you should be able to feel that the seal is tighter. This solution is not as effective as replacing the door gasket seal, but it is by far better than rolling with a damaged seal that is letting cold air fall right out of your fridge. Perform preventive maintenance. As with any piece of equipment, inspection and maintenance of your RV refrigerator are important for performance and longevity. We recommend the following. Keep an eye on the evaporator inside your refrigerator. If ice starts to cover the fins, defrost your refrigerator or simply take a hair dryer and melt the ice. Don't let your freezer become an ice block. We know it's an easy thing to put off, but defrost it whenever necessary. Plus, you'll have more space once it's done. Check the outside condenser coil and propane components at least once a year, especially if you haven't used your refrigerator in a while or if you're experiencing problems. Remove the outside vent and check for any dust, cobwebs, nests, or general debris. If necessary, use compressed air to blow it clean or simply brush or wipe it clean, keeping track of your maintenance with an online tool such as Maintain My RV. So this was all about today's video. Kindly like, share and subscribe to get latest updates. We will meet again with another super amazing video. Till then, stay safe. Goodbye.